hard. Although they're not, your shoulders may be powerful, but chest strength. Let's talk about this because rumor has it you lost a push-up competition.
Oh, seriously?
Doug Pagitt and to Chico Pagitt since this show last aired.
Okay, first of all, it's not humiliating enough that I'm on a radio show with... Okay, I got the Ustream working. It's not humiliating enough I'm on a radio show with 3 PhDs. You got to bring up that I got beaten in a push-up contest with
walloped, I think we'd say.
With an 18-year-old kid and a 45-year-old tall fat guy.
And a decrepit radio host.
I know.
And you and I have been at the gym recently. Like you've been lifting a lot of weights. You've been throwing up some major iron on the bench press.
Well, it's clearly I look better than both of them. But it's not about strength training for me. It's about physique building.
It's about heart health.
It's about heart health.
Right?
That's right.
Isn't that it?
Eat my bowl of oatmeal in the morning and we're good to go.
I've often said that the reason I do the bench press is just so that my chest is big enough that my shirt hangs out a little over my belly.
That's what I need, yeah. That's what I need, definitely.
So that's why we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's interesting that I don't want you to read too much into the fact that
the 2 guests that I booked for Doug Pagitt Radio this week are both like Ivy League PhD professors.
Yeah.
But if you were going to read something into it, I would read that I was it's completely an attempt to intimidate you, the sidekick.
Oh, well, job well done. But
really?
Yeah, well, I want to know, so what is Miroslav putting on the bench? Okay. What is Randall Ballmer, what is he curling?
I don't know Randy Ballmer's physique, but I've spent a significant amount of time with Miroslav. He could kick your butt. The guy's huge, broad-shouldered, Eastern European. Like,
right.
Oh my gosh!
And they invented weightlifting, so
yeah, he could be in World's Strongest Theologian competition. He's a tall, good-looking guy who wears bow ties, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't, actually put a rope in his teeth and pull a semi-trailer 50 yards.
So
those guys do.
John Frankie, the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Yeah, I mean, and John Frankie similarly of a robust stature.
Doughy, some might say.
He could probably do it too. So are we just gonna be dropping names of theologians now that?
Right, it's because it's going to be so stimulating for our post-pet show audience, I'm sure. So
before we get into these interviews, John, I just are there ground rules on Doug Pagitt Radio for the guest host that I don't know about? Are there any unspoken rules that now is the time to air those so that the listening audience knows what they are?
Well, I think, as Doug well knows, it's, the show really rises or falls upon me because it's really just about me.
The sidekick. So, I'll need coffee after this first segment. And then after the first hour before the interview, a foot rub. Is that how it goes? Basically, that's what Doug does. Is that streamed live on Ustream? Yes, but only in the adult section. You get to see that. Well, we'll try not to put the... Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You can call BS. Okay. If we get too theological PhD lingo, okay? You gotta... Your job? Mm-hmm. You are everyman. Oh, okay. So I'm here to dumb it down if it gets... Well, I wasn't going to say dumb it down. I was going to say everyman, which is it's a very important literary figure to be everyman in a novel, right? You're like the Apostle Peter, just kind of stumbling your way into truth. Well, that's our guest host, Dr. Tony Jones. You're listening to the Doug Pagitt Radio Show on the progressive voice of Minnesota, AM 950. We'll be back in a few minutes.
When I was little, I dreaded going to the dentist. The